Newsday Amarillo and News Channel 10-2. I'm David Lovejoy.
Hello, everybody. I'm Rhonda Lawnert.
Step up or be stepped down. I'm Chuckalicious Chuck Williams.
Fresh off a commissioners meeting on Monday, we're joined by Potter County Judge Nancy Tanner, always handling the business of Potter County. Good morning, Judge. How you doing today?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How about you guys
Kick
Good to see
it.
you.
and ladies? Doing well. Had a long meeting yesterday. Very, very long. Lots of stuff to talk about.
Judge Tanner, as I read it, it seems as though the big issue was getting ballistic vests and shields. I think shields was included in that for police and fire. How come that has come to the forefront? And
Because it says 2026, 2024, 2026. I just aged myself a little. This is 2024, and the world is in the worst shape I've ever seen it. So people, if you cross them sideways, they're going to shoot you, and it's just amazing what we have to do to protect the citizens and the law enforcement and the fire department and anybody else that works for the county. It's amazing how many times you can watch the news and hear how many shootings there are in the United States alone.
How does that affect recruiting? Is Sheriff Thomas?
I don't think that there's a problem with that, David. I have never heard the sheriff say they have issue with it, but the first thing you have to know about Sheriff Thomas is that he's going to make sure his people are safe.
Yeah.
Getting these vests and shields for them and for the fire department is top priority. So, you can't, well, it's like the fair, Tri-State Fair last year when he had a couple of deputies shot. I mean, that's an eye-opener. That's an eye-opener for us. And you don't think it's going to happen in Amarillo, Texas, but it does. It happens in every little city, every big city. So we need the protection, and Sheriff Thomas is always really good about making sure his people are protected.
Yeah, and the good thing about it, too, is the county doesn't have to bear the full brunt of the price that you've looked at different grants and explored that. How important and how key of a role does that in when we look at especially these extra things, these extra fundings that may not be allotted in the budget at the start of the year, but how important is that to find those extra grants and that extra funding?
It is absolutely a necessity, and I award them, I salute them for going out and finding these grants. They're everywhere. You just got to look for them. So they're out there. If you can apply for them and get them and prove to the person, the grant giver, that we need it, and that's what they do. They're really, really, really good at it. I wish I could get a grant.
Yet myself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Grant me serenity.
They don't have grants for county judges, unfortunately. They just have mental health.
And you don't get that day off from, or
I
that
don't get that day.
like the
No,
schools
I
do.
do
I
not.
saw that you posted. Oh, my goodness. Well, talking about the state of the world, and man, the state of Amarillo, just these last few weeks, every day something comes across my phone on that News Channel 10 app, and it's disturbing. It's alarming. People are in danger. And so there are many things that play into this, but I'm going to take it back to what I always take it back to, and we are all passionate about, is mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And, even yesterday in Randall County, there was a situation, and we still, to me, this just reinforces the fact that this has to be addressed, and you're working diligently. Are there any updates on anything that we would want to know about maybe getting to the hospital?
Finally got the property secured.
Oh.
I cannot tell you exactly the details of it, but it's a done deal. It's going to be out by the medical center, which is right where I needed it. And they decided, instead of a 2-story, which this is kind of a funny story, you know me, it's a 2-story, parking lot, all this stuff. And they said, well, the land that was given to you was not big enough. And I said, well, I've got this much land, which is not quite what you need, but how about you build a 3-story? And they went, oh, okay. Okay. So that makes sense to them. So instead of building out, they're going to build up. Mm-hmm. It's going to be good, and it's coming, and I'm I tell you, I could not have done this without Ford Price. He has been my go-to guy. He makes calls for me. He's just the best. I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss him. But he's been helping me with this, so we finally got it secured. I'm waiting on some details to come out before I make it public, but you guys got the inside scoop there, but it's gonna happen, and I am so excited. It's gonna be finished in 2026, they say. So
And that was a
right
big,
when I'm leaving office.
that was a big thing for Ford Price. He had been talking about that for about the last 4 to 5 years, especially among the young, picking
Exactly.
up
Yeah.
the banner of mental health and behavioral health. And we talk about it a lot here. Like say, you see the rise in violence, you see a little rise in disturbing incidents, just extremely disturbing of how some of these things are going on. And one of those big factors is our state of mental health. And a great example of yesterday in Randall County, Sheriff Forbes and his guys, and I know Sheriff Thomas, and I know former Chief Birkenfeld has did this, but how important is training and the most up-to-date information and dealing with professionals? You deal with this every day.
Every day.
You go to the courtroom, you deal with the people, you see it.
Every day.
But a lot
Every
of
day.
those men and women don't see it every day to the extent you do.
But they have to go out, and I do all the paperwork to get them done. I do the hearings. They actually have to deal with that patient. They see the literally worst of the worst. They get the sight, they get the smell, they get everything bad before they come to me. So kudos to them. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some of the stories I could tell you, you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe. So when we call, we get a issue a warrant for have to have someone picked up. We call the APD to come and get them. They're just shaking their head like, oh man, here we go again. Sometimes it's the same people,
Right.
and then sometimes it's new people, but it's always the same circumstance, always the same. The people don't want to go. They don't want to go. They don't want to leave. They don't want to do this. They're halftime. They're not clothed properly. They haven't had a bath in months. It's horrible. So